Part 33. After My Death, the Villain Blackened Again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 326. The devouring beast actually showed no signs of sobriety. But Yanj could feel the energy field around this guy changing. This is, to advance? But now in this plane, the aura is really thin. Can it have the energy to let the swallowing beast advance? Chicken, do you want to interrupt him? Yanj thinks he doesn't have this ability, so he doesn't do this delusion. She intends to act on opportunity. Regardless of whether it is human or beast, after the advanced level is the weakest ability, she wants to take advantage of this guy when he is the weakest, and spend all his abilities on herself. There is no cave in the desert that can't see the end, and you can't really wait here forever. Therefore, after a short hesitation, Yan Ji turned his head and returned, pulling the enemies that swallowed the sky. She remembered that the golden nest that swallowed the beast was still there, but it was a good place to sleep. There is an enchantment in Jinwo, but fortunately, Yanj can sense the enchantment, which also saves her from looking around. When the enchantment was found, Jiwei was also outside the enchantment. This guy was trying to open the enchantment. He probably had a brow. He was so ecstatic that he laughed a few times and scolded, "You Qin beast, Laozi will settle your nest today." As soon as the words came down, Yanj dragged the devouring heaven beast and came to him. The enchantment opened. "Jiwei, how did this appear?" He shook his head quickly. "Open, can't open, the enchantment set by the devouring beast, we can't solve this level." Yanj stared at him. "Oh." Jiwei promised, really, I can't solve it, it's too difficult." Yan Ji still looked at him. "Huh." Nine-tailed eyes narrowed and swallowed the beast. He suddenly expected that the swallowed beast could wake up, and then swallowed the woman. He really didn't expect the wake of the swallowed beast like now. "I didn't lie. I wanted to open this enchantment, but it was too difficult." Yanj interrupted him, "Can't open." Jiwei nodded, "Such as pounding garlic, I really can't open it." "Then you are here," Yanj said, "I just need some time to sleep on this devouring beast." "You are here to help us protect the Fa." She said nothing and had dragged the devouring beast into the realm as if she were in a state of no one. Nine-tail. He didn't want to stay here at all, and he wanted to go inside. He had never been to the old nest of devouring heaven's beasts. He said that there were various treasures and magical tools in the old nest of devouring heaven's beasts. Come this chance. When Jiwei went to sense the enchantment here again, he found that he couldn't sense it in his connection with the enchantment. This shameless woman must have made another enchantment. Not only do he want to devour the beast alone, but he also wants to occupy the old nest of the devourer alone. Obviously he has a share, but now he has to be excluded. He has never seen such a wicked woman. The thought of swallowing the treasures in the beast of the heavens, he was so annoyed that he stomped his chest. Jiwei gritted his teeth, but was helpless. The door was a bit narrow, and Yan Ji thought that he could not enter the golden nest with a beast-shaped swallowing beast. However, when she didn't expect it, the golden gate built by the devouring beast had special functions. As soon as the devouring beast entered the door, the beast shape automatically turned into a human shape, and naturally, it was dragged by the word song through the corridor. Once out of the corridor and into the living room, the humanoid devourer turned into a beastly one. Although the corridor is narrow, it can make the swallow beast into a human shape. So after a moment's singing, Yangguo pulled the beast to the corridor. After My Death, the Villain Blackened Again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 327. The human-shaped swallowing beast is also black and not slipping by the thunder, which is no different from coke. The energy field of the devouring beast is still changing. After a short while of feeling the words, Yan Ji closed his eyes and began to cultivate. The practice this time is a relatively overbearing combination of male and female exercises. The main function is mining, yang tonic/yin. The chicken asked the song, he's so scorched like that stuff works? And he looks like this, can you get your mouth? Yanj, I can't get anything, either I eat him or he eats me, I just eat him, not to taste what he tastes like. The cub thought that if he swallowed the heavenly beast halfway, he might not be in a vengeance with this wood, and he sighed, you are better off attacking his heart first and then attacking him step by step. Yanj, it's just a few sleeps. It's so complicated as you said. No wonder you are still a long-term office/male. After the chicken babbled for a moment, he groaned, shameless rogue. Yanj didn't think she was a shameless hooligan. If she didn't save her life, she would have died countless times in the mouth of devouring heaven's beast, but her end would be worse than Juwei. For such a man who keeps killing her, if she is a little more reticent, then she really has a brain problem. At the third level of practice, Yanj felt that the energy field around the devouring beast was getting stronger and stronger. Obviously this face, now the aura is scarcely gone, but I don't know what energy is sucked up by the devouring beast. Yanji opened his eyes and his eyes fell on the devouring beast. The coke-like devouring beast, the black skin on his body was a little bit cracked, like a cocoon, and the cocoon was a promoted devouring beast. After the inch-thick black leather had all cracked and died, the clothes on Yanj also disappeared at this moment. She bent down and pressed her eyes closed, but the energy in her body was on the wildly devouring beast. Gongfa ran to the extreme at the moment of pairing. The energy in the body of the devouring beast was instantly absorbed by the words. Those energies are too pure and huge, even though Yanj is trying to control them, they are still under the illusion of being stricken by the energy of the mountains. She wanted to die, her teeth were bleeding, but she didn't even groan, just continued a little bit, trying to suppress and guide those energies. You can explode like this, said the cub. The energy on swallowing the beast is not something you can eat. What is the difference between you and an ant swallowing an elephant? Stop quickly, wood. Your special control is not good. It doesn't matter if the fly dies, Laozi doesn't want to be buried with you. The cub's words could not be heard, all her mind was on herself and the devouring beast. This scene meets in pairs, it has nothing to do with love between men and women, it has nothing to do with loneliness, this is a battlefield where you come and go without smoke. She used her body as a bait to lure enemies deep into it, and then eroded, just like a greedy snake. From the beginning, her weak body gradually became strong, and her painful liver and gallbladder broke apart, but there was nothing to stop meaning. She has been suppressing the words of energy that lead her into her. She didn't notice the devouring beast lying on the ground, her closed eyes slowly opened, and her dark and glorious eyes were fixed now. Songs riding on him. The woman's body was slender, and her hair was scattered, so she sat close to him. What is she doing? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 328. Swallowing the beast's lips squinted slightly, his eyes were a little dazed and a little confused. He raised his hand and was about to touch the woman's chest that seemed white and tender and seemed to pinch. The woman's body shrank somewhere at this time, and he felt that he was suddenly plunged into a state of joy with a blank brain. When he receded from the joyful tide that the body could not restrain, the woman crawled on him, as if asleep. A little movement can feel the place where the two people are connected is still together. Because Sue was not wearing clothes, he felt that the woman's soft and hot body was very comfortable covering him. Even in that place, Sue was extremely stable because of being wrapped. So his brain was dumb and crashed for a while. During this period, his hands unknowingly covered the woman's tender body. Although his brain was blank, he had no idea where he was, what he was doing at the moment, who the woman was, and what he and the woman were doing now. But this did not prevent him from exploring the woman's body a little bit by hand, and that little bit of ignorance was moving. This is really a beginning full of countless wonders. The devouring hesitation from the beginning of the devouring beast, to the end, from the beginning of the beast's instinct began to invade and impact. The energy of swallowing the beast is very pure. Generally speaking, the energy songs that are cultivated in the plane cannot bring into their own chaotic world, but this time is a special case. The energy she had drawn from swallowing the beast was taken by her and provided her own body. The body in the plane is too weak to bear the pure energy of the devouring beast. She felt that her meridians had always been a painful state of reorganization, and rupture. But even so, she didn't stagnate until the energy was completely delivered to her chaos. So after she was exhausted and finally recovered her body consciousness, she realized that her body was about to be destroyed by the devouring beast. No, exactly, it was she who slept with him, but it seems to be flipping now. Probably did not expect that doing bad things would be hit by the parties. Seeing Yanj opened his eyes, swallowed the heavenly beasts and instantly stunned. The legs holding onto Yanj's motionlessly, stared at Yanj with a pair of bright eyes, vigilant and nervous. His appearance, for no reason, made Yanji think of the frightened rabbit. Contrary to each other's eyes, Yanji's eyes are all smiley. While swallowing the beast, his vigilant gaze was blank. The next moment, Yanji held his shoulders with his hands and pressed him back. She leaned up immediately, bowed her head, pecked his lips on his chin, her waist was twisted, her eyes were silky, and her hot lips touched off his chin, and she slightly raised her head. Look at him, am I beautiful? The devouring beast has no concept of beauty and ugliness, and he still wants to continue to move, but watching the female's every move makes him feel as if he is blinded by the invisible silk gauze. She was foolish and followed her words, beautiful. Sure enough, when she said this, the female smiled softly, and her voice was very pleasant, just like the sound of clear spring water from the mountain stream, making him yearn for joy and followed with joy. He likes watching the female laugh, and he likes to listen to her laugh, so he goes on to say, beautiful. He looked up, trying to learn to go to the female's chin like a female, but the female raised her head slightly, and his lips fell on her chest. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 329. Yanji reached out his hand, supported the back of the devouring beast, and hugged him tightly into his arms. I wanted to run the exercises at this moment, but the body suddenly felt a stinging song and found that I had exercised too much previously, and the damaged meridians had not recovered, so I can no longer continue to practice the exercises. Neither, she was not frustrated, but she wanted to sweeten the beast first, so that he knew the benefits of sleeping with her, and then he could continue to his cultivation. So Yanj swallowed down the heavenly beast, hanging him from time to play tricks, intersecting and intertwining with each other, but the passion was strong. Fortunately, you are a cultivated body, the cub said with emotion. If it were a human body, it would have been worn away. When she realized that the cubs were talking, they would respond to swallowing the beasts. They understood the song. Today, the swallow beasts still feel the existence of the cubs. You have a bit of a misconception about males. Chicken, how do you think this wood is despising their male? As a male member, he is still an aspiring young man who is determined to open a huge harem group in the future. The can't bear to say such words. How do you think you are a little bit suspicious? Obviously you look cool now. Why can't I be happy? Yanj asked. I'm upset. Do I still cry? I can sleep like this one unique devouring beast and benefit from it when I sleep. I'm too late to be happy. Chicken. It always felt that the wood was getting shameless. However, this degree of shame makes it more and more like it. Hemp eggs, it would never like such a weapon full of wood. It would rather be lonely and never like this guy. After sleeping round and round, there will be occasional breaks in the middle, most of the rest modes are devouring beasts holding the words to sleep. Slowly, Yanj found that it was wrong, this devouring beast seems to have lost its previous memory. Normal the cub is not surprised by this, every advancement of the beast is a new life, there will also be a bloodline inheritance, the progress of the devouring beast is interrupted by you at the last moment, probably the last step to pass the bloodline by you destroyed. Yan Song, when will he think of the past? After the next advance and inherited the bloodline inheritance. Yan Ji heard the words a little bit rejoicing. Before that, she should still be able to absorb the energy of swallowing the beast many times. Now, just wait for her body to recover slowly. Every adult devouring beast has a period of estrus/estrus. Although the devouring beast this time did not inherit his own inherited blood, but he succeeded in the advanced stage, just as an adult, and it was just the puberty and estrus. His request period lasted for a very long time, and the devouring beast of the estrus was mostly filled with sex. Occasionally when he is awake, he is also encircling the enchantment around him. This is probably the instinct of each animal after it has a female. Never let your female be taken away by another beast. Of course, in order to make the female make a happy sound, the devouring beast will also become a beast shape and play the song in his huge manner. Realizing that the female liked the fruit on the trees in the manner, he would pick up some fresh fruit every morning and put it in the place where the female could see with her eyes open. Once, he even woven a fruit ring around the female's neck, so that the female wouldn't have to do anything, and she could sip the fruit with her head down. Hello everyone, welcome to the world of animals and plants. This is a beautiful world where animals and plants coexist harmoniously. If you get on the wrong car, the door is closed, you can't get off the car. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 330. Yanj is about the state of the brain. This devouring beast has nothing to do with inheriting the blood lineage. How does it feel like this guy is advanced but his IQ is offline? Then the big apple strung a string of gold and hung it around her neck, making her a little girl with no chickens in her hands instantly transformed into a sand monk in the journey to the west. I was afraid that these apples would break her small neck too much. She swallowed a few pins with huge golden flowers in gold and fixed 2 of them on her shoulders to support the weight. Even if she doesn't look in the mirror, she can feel how strange this look is now. Even if she is a tree, she can't accept this dress. Hemp eggs, this shame. Might as well hang the gold in beads around her neck. The gangsters were so angry that they were angry. This guy didn't think there was any problem with this approach, and he blinked at her after he finished. Look for tigers, praise, caress. Yan Ji's feet were about to move, really want to take him to heaven. Seeing that the female did not respond, although it was a little disappointing to swallow the beast, this did not hinder his bad taste. After turning into a beast, he fluttered the song to his back with his tail, and then happily walked around the manor. Run. Words of song. Hemp eggs. Hemp eggs. As soon as her beauty with a fluttering hair came to the back of the devouring beast, her hair ran chaotically in the wind, worse than swallowing up the beast, and instantly became a faceless female ghost. Even swallowing the beast's saliva can't save her hairstyle. When the devouring beast ran away, the song of song was an expression of death rather than death, and only her hair would give the devouring face to accompany the devouring beast and go crazy together. After a few laps, the swallowing beast rolled the female off its back with its tail, and first added a female face with its tongue. In the expression of surprise and aggression on the female's face, he stripped the female's clothes 3 times, 5 and 2, and added the female's body again. After the foreplay was finished, the devouring beasts entered the foreplay with great excitement. The song of life is better than death, but before returning to normal from the aggressive state, you have to be forced to begin to enter an excited state. These past few days, every day I can't help but get drooling. Not only was her protest ineffective, it also exacerbated the guy. Of course she couldn't beat him, not only that, but she also felt that her protest was excited in the eyes of devouring heaven. What a real problem was her sad question. After finally getting through the meridian repair, Yan Ji pressed the excitement in his heart, waiting for the devouring beast to be happy again. She greeted the guy warmly. Waiting for this guy to run the exercises to eat away the energy in his body when he desires the most. Yan Ji waited for this time for a long time. At the first time, the devouring beast had just finished the advanced stage, and his consciousness was full of horror, so he did not feel the movement of the words. But this time, even if the desire was high, he could clearly feel the tear-like pain in his body. It was like being stripped of his skin layer after layer, hurting his heart. His shoulders were gripped tightly by the female, and he stared at the female with wide eyes. All eyes were surprised. "It's out of oil, ha ha ha, laugh out the pig. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again." Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 331. Females also hurt. The devouring beast can see it. Her face was pale, her face sweaty, her body still trembling, and her watery eyes were filled with tears. He wanted to struggle, but he couldn't bear to see her like this. Does she seem to be more painful than him? He snarled, whimpering, and wanted to lift his head to kiss her pale lip gloss, but she pressed her hands on his shoulders, and her nails were almost in his flesh. If he move, will inevitably disturb her. He couldn't move, he had to turn his tail and use the tip of the tail to appease her straight back and shoulders, trying to soothe her in this way. Yan Ji did not expect to have experienced it once, and the second time would still be so painful. This time, she was specifically trying to reduce the energy of swallowing heavenly beasts every time, which would reduce the pain of energy breaking through her meridians, but even if she was careful enough, she still couldn't stop the majestic energy. Where the energy passes, her meridians are fragmented. Not only does she have to guide and suppress the energy of the riots, she also scores to repair her meridians. She has no time to look out and take into account the emotions of swallowing beasts. The devouring beast's tail is wrapped around the female, and his lips bit his female fingers. Although his body is still in pain, there is a desire to keep on attacking. He simply fixed the female's thin waist with his tail, propped his hands on the female's chest, and continued to increase his horsepower. He wanted to use this kind of movement to relieve the anxiety caused by pain. Yan Ji didn't know how long it hurt again this time. When she was sober, she realized that she was playing with the beast again. This time she didn't have the energy to counterattack, so when her face and her eyes were added to devouring tongue's tongue, she squinted and snorted softly. This sound seemed to give the devourer the power, making the devourer even more tossing and cheerful. This time, after swallowing the heavenly beast, he didn't pick the fruit as usual. After he turned into a beast, he wrapped the female around his belly, and added the female with his tongue. He could feel that the females were very weak, and especially weak. He seemed to know what the pain was when they first met. What puzzled him was that since she was so uncomfortable, why did she do that? When Yanj was awake, she felt wet, as if she had been taken out of the water. She was just surprised how it happened. She swallowed the tongue of the beast, and drooled her face. Words of song. So when did this guy become beastly? During this time when she didn't sense the outside world, this guy drank her all over again? Even if exhausted, Yan Ji still wanted to violently poke the tongue of the devouring beast into a sieve at this moment. Adding a mouthful of females, the swallowing beast happily dangled his tail. Seeing that the females did not respond, his tongue added a mouth to the male and female neck and collarbone. Yan Ji stared at this guy. She didn't even have the strength to lift her fingers, so even when angry, she fell asleep after protesting with a weak white eye. When she was awake again, there was a sweet smell of fruit around her. As soon as her eyes fell on a cherry, the cherry was curled by a tail and passed to her mouth. Yan Song turned his head and shone with the gleaming eyes of the swallowing beast. Every time I see this guy's silly white sweetness please his own eyes, Yanj would like to take something to record this guy's silly, so that when this guy eats her in the future, give it to this guy watching. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 332. Unfortunately, there is nothing to take advantage of. Yan Ji reached out and patted the head afraid of swallowing the beast. The devouring beast immediately retracted her tongue and pinched her palms with her head, and her eyes were watery. Yan Ji paused his hand, and then touched the guy's head slowly, again and again. The devouring beast squinted his eyes comfortably. Yan Ji asked him softly, "Do you know your name?" The devouring beast dangled its tail, and when he heard the words tilted his head, he thought, "Empty devouring beast." Anyway, although there is no inheritance memory, this guy can still know what he is, and it really is a guy with a background. If this is the case, he can also know what he is. "Then I call you Xiaotian." Yan Ji touched his head with a smile, "You're Xiaotian, I'm Xiaoshu." Little Tree, devouring the beast, licked the face of the Song, and when the song was aggressive, he shouted with a full voice, "Little Tree." His tail licked and licked a few words of speech with great joy, and then rolled up the words with his tail on his back, rushing towards the fruit forest in a smoky way. Small tree, his voice was rumbling, although as loud as a thunder, anyone could hear the joy in his voice. The chicken sighed with emotion, "I didn't expect to have such a silly side to swallow the beast." This is also the voice of the song. She thought she had to use a little bit of charm and a little truth to get this guy in hand. However, she felt as if she had no time. "Chicken, in fact, you can try, maybe you can get his true heart." Yanj interrupted the chicken, "Will there be sincerity in swallowing the heavenly beast? If I could really get his sincerity, he would never have eaten me so many times in the future. If it was not for binding the system, maybe I would have been swallowed by him now. The ashes are gone. It's probably too boring, and the chicken is very good at filling, especially the small words it has read. However, Yanj thinks that although the cub said so, I'm afraid that it won't even believe that the devouring animal has the intention." Also the cub sighed immensely. "Let him die while he is ill. Since you can't kill him this time, you can take more if you can. Anyway, this guy's energy comes from others, you don't have to be psychologically robbed." Yanj, does she seem to be under stress? However, thinking of the habit of slobbering at the pleasure of swallowing the beast, she suddenly felt that she was really stressed. Words of songs lingering in the fruit forest found that she was like a ragdoll in the hands of a devouring beast. From time to time, he was hugged and raised high by this guy. He kept shouting "Little Tree," shouting and shouting, and when he was excited, he would throw her into the air and catch it with his tail. Damn, what's wrong with that? Yan Song was stunned. Partially swallowing the beast seems to be very fun, throwing her higher and higher. Yanj thinks that she's still too little energy, so that makes him so energetic. This time the body of Yanj took longer to repair, almost twice as long as the last time. She even faintly felt that it might end up dying to the energy of the beast, and the devouring beast would continue to live alive. This is really a sad perception. In order to keep himself alive for a long time, Yan Ji did not urgently continue to devour the heavenly beast after raising his body this time. While she practiced herself, she played hugs with that kind of brain-disabled lover every day. "Chicken, I find you seem to like to be swallowed up by the devouring beast. Isn't the female good?" Yan Ji heard his words, roll his eyes, "Which eye do you see me like? I am a tree. Do you think I would like to be uprooted and thrown in the air?" After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 333. Chicken. It seems reasonable to be talked about by Wood. I see you like it. The chick was interrupted halfway by the song. My expression was frightened. Chicken, oh. After a pause, he said, shall I comfort you? Words, yes. Chicken, I'm just being polite, please ignore what I just said. Words of song. The plastic flower friendship between the tree beasts made her very tired. Of course, the most important thing at the moment is to properly tune up the Qin beast in front of him, so that he will not spit her saliva anymore, and do not throw high anymore. But in such a small place, there is no other entertainment, and it can only be drooling and throwing up high every day. In order to consume this guy's energy, Yanj simply came up with the idea, will you go out and play? He is not willing to swallow the heavenly beast. His golden nest and female, he wants to hide well, and does not want to let other guys see it. But since Xiao Shushu likes it, he can only open the enchantment. When Yanj rode away from the enchantment on the swallowing beast, he raised his eyes and saw the 9 tails squatting outside the enchantment. Zhu Wei was still thinking about the woman eating meat and drinking soup. After the woman had finished killing and scraping the swallowing beast and left, he went to the enchantment to pick up leeks. However, the devouring beast was awake, not only awake, but also advanced. Although 9 tail is outside the enchantment, because of the advancement of the swallowing beast, it is a little cheap, and it has grown its 2nd tail again. He was very happy, but didn't plan to leave. He was curious if he swallowed the woman. Curious if the woman had slept the devourer. I have to say, curiosity killed the cat. When Zhu Wei saw Yanj riding on the swallowing beast, his heart was agitated, and there was an ominous premonition. He immediately shrank his body, hoping that the 2 Qin beasts would not see him. However, things did not go as expected. The devouring beast did not expect to be so unlucky, and met a male as soon as he went out. The devouring beast ignored the 9-tailed fox as 9-tailed expected. He lifted his head with high toes and raised his chest, stepping on 9-tail without squinting. After the front paw has been stepped on, it is the turn of the rear paw to continue on. 9-tail, it seemed that his heart, lungs had been trampled by the devouring beast to become dregs, but he had to endure, and did not even dare to hum. He now prayed that these 2 gods would roll away as fast as possible. But this time, his expectations fell through. The song on the back of the devouring beast, Xiao Tian, you stepped on something under your feet. Zhu Wei ignored that he was something in the eyes of a woman. He felt that the name Xiao Tian was too disrespectful to be placed on the devouring beast. The 9-tailed fox thought that swallowing the beast would jump up and swallow the woman. As a result, it seems that he thinks more. The devouring beast that eats no matter what time is a devastating devouring beast. At this moment, he said with a soft and cute voice only used by cubs, "Ah, is there anything?" When he said this, the guy was still struggling with 9 tails with his rear paws. There is a lot of momentum to step on the thing of Zhu Wei into a dead thing. 9 tail, stolen by the devouring beast again. Even if he has grown 2 tails, he will be trampled by the devouring beast. This devouring beast, he even opened his eyes to talk nonsense. But he couldn't be stepped on anymore. Zhu Wei wanted to call for help, but he swallowed the beast's claws as if he had eyes, held his head, and pressed his head and face directly into the sand. Yanj, yes, it's a fox, and your foot stepped on him. The devouring beast raised his front paws and looked at them, then turned his head and licked his tongue with his tongue. No. Meng de voice, but innocent. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 334. Words of speech that were slobbered. Forbearance did not reach out and touched his face. How did you progress from being a big badass to a bear child? The point is that this guy has such a brutal animal shape and speaks with this innocent voice. This particular style of painting is too weird. Yanj certainly didn't think that this was caused by her interrupting the advancement of devouring the beast. She scratched the neck of devouring heaven's beast. On your hind feet, move your feet away. The devouring beast flattened its mouth and was very upset. He and his own female world were bothered. He is angry. So when the feet moved away, he crushed a few foxes under the feet. When nine-tailed soil gray-faced face crawled out of the sandy soil, he walked crookedly without saying a word, and his leg was still pinched. He heard the fierce devouring beast and said to the woman on his back with that soft and cute voice, "Do you really have something? Would you like to eat it? Or should I roast him for you?" Nine-tail. He finally managed to escape, and he had not left 2 lines of excited tears. Now he was scared to cry. Damn, didn't this devouring heaven beast think he was stink before eating him? Why should he bake that woman now? If you do anti like it to the woman, it's not true love. Immediately he heard the devouring beast and said, "But this thing is probably not very delicious. The smell on his body is too heavy." Nine Tails, finally relieved, Laozi is so proud of Laozi, at least don't worry about being eaten by those heartbroken guys. But before this breath is released, the swallowing beast lifts his neck with 1 claw, "But my brain should taste good. Xiaoshushu, do you like to eat your brain?" I knocked on his skull to taste it. Jiwei could even cry. He knew the cruelty of swallowing the heavenly beast, but since this guy hated him stink, he gradually became unscrupulous. After all, this guy would at most choke him so as not to eat got him. But now, he really regretted it, and curiosity killed him. He shouldn't have squatted in this place to watch the excitement. Hemp eggs, is it so nice to swallow the beast? He wants to slap himself. It's too stinky, I don't like to eat. Yan Ji looked at Jiwei. Well, your tail grows again. Jiwei has noticed that this woman is unusual in the eyes of the devouring beast. He didn't expect that this devouring beast did not break away from the ordinary beast in both sexes, so when he heard the words, he was like an amnesty and nodded his head very quickly. Yes, I'm too bad eat. Hello Grandpa Mao, congratulations on your exit with the devouring heavens beast. I have been helping you to protect the law outside, and I have done my due diligence. The people and demons who came here to explore the treasure were driven away by me. This guy turned out to be close to his own little female. The devourer roared a few times in his throat. Nine-tailed shivering, completely intimidated by the beast that swallowed the heavenly beast. Hemp egg, what is this beast doing? If the coercion is put down so much, his internal organs will be scared into dregs. Swallowing the sky beast did nothing. He waved his paw and threw Jiwei to the sky. It's ugly, it's smelly and ugly, and it's not delicious, he said to his little female. Next time, I'll find you a nice roast. Yanj, well, good. Swallow the heavenly beast to look around and look at it. There are deserts in your eyes. There is nothing to look at. It is better to go back to the nest and snore with your own female. Small tree, where are we going? After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 335. Yan Ji pointed in a random direction, toward this. After taking a few steps, the devouring beast felt like he was walking too slowly. His shoulders shook, and huge wings quickly grew out of the seams between his backbones. He fluttered his wings and flew directly into the sky. Yanj was the first time to see the complete beast shape of the devouring beast. I have to say that this guy's animal shape is not like a 4, but this guy's animal shape is very practical. Although it is huge, it is very flexible. Yan Ji said to the chicken, look at the animal shape of others, and then look at yourself. What do you think? Although the chicken was depressed at the bottom of his heart, he couldn't admire in front of the wood. He shook his head proudly, "I'm cute, I'm never compared with these four-limbed guys." The words are so speechless. This interstellar era from a modern civilized society to a flood of mechs and zergs has experienced countless hours, but these times have been wasted in sleep by words and devouring beasts. Radiation and plundering of interstellar resources have made the planet almost deserted. Rarely there are several more developed interstellar army stations and poor residential areas with poor facilities. Looking down at the sky, I can feel the bleakness of the planet. The huge existence of the devouring beast entered the sky and was quickly captured by the radar of the interstellar army. They sent drones to intercept the devouring beast. But when the drone was not far away from the devouring beast, it was shattered into numerous pieces by the roar of the devouring beast. The last footage captured by the drone was quickly uploaded to StarCraft headquarters. Everyone looked at the girl and the beast in the picture and talked about it. Some people said that it was a variation of the Zerg Queen, and some people said it was an ancient beast. However, after analysis, everyone is more inclined to believe that this is a beast that has appeared in ancient civilizations. This discovery made people very excited. They sent a large number of mechas to this almost abandoned planet, and as a result swept the entire planet. I didn't find that beast. Yanj and the Devourer returned to the golden nest of the Devourer. It's really a barren planet, and it doesn't look good at all. And the devouring beast is still in the estrus period. This guy is completely uninterested in the outside, and when he is emotional, he sings back to the golden nest enchantment. After consolidating his body, Yan Ji's encounter with the devouring beast this time is still cautious. However, the majestic energy came fiercely, and the pain was more intense than the last time, so that Yan Ji almost didn't hold his heart this time and went into magic. The key moment is that the devouring beasts share a little sense of energy to control the energy in the body of Yanj so as not to run into the air. The words are confusing, and strange consciousness should have been rejected when she entered her realm, but her body is now like a drainer. When she introduces the energy of the devouring beast into her own body, the exercises are working, and she cannot stop at all. Or devote energy to repel the devouring beast. The consciousness of swallowing the heavenly beast controls his own energy, and those majestic energies gradually enter the body of the word song in a trickle and gentle manner. His consciousness is attached to energy. Naturally, he also sees the essence of the word song. His female, called a small tree, turned out to be a tree. No wonder she loves those sweet teeth that can't stop the teeth.